Kimberly. I know it's been a while, I look a little different. I just wanted to give everybody an update on my skin cancer journey and the video, and I appreciate everybody's questions and concern. I have not had a great experience with my skin cancer journey. That's why it took me so long to get these, to just put it into words. But here goes. I was only able to do the Effudux maybe a month on my chest. As you can see, my chest looks really clear. It did clear up a lot of the dryness and a lot of the skin cancers, but I still have a lot popping out. Like I still have another one there. I have, my arms look really good. And I'll show you my shoulders. And this was not a lump. This right here was my portacath. So I have a little bit of info to everybody that has a portacath that's going through the Effudux on their chest or any other areas. This is kind of what happened to me. I'm not saying it's for everybody, I'm just saying it's not for me. Put the Effudux on my chest, my breasts began to have large knots on them, and I had saline implants that were over the muscle, and the Effudux went into there, crystallizing everything, and it made calcium tumors all around it. It collapsed, it made the scar tissue in my portacath, which you can see I no longer have. It made the SVC vein that the portacath sits in, it made it collapse, and it went into the scar tissue and just made everything go crazy. So I had to have my breast removed. I still have my breast. It's the implants and all the tumors, and I'll put a picture in. I had to have my portacath out, which it had scar tissued up into my clavicle and up into my shoulder. They had to go in several times and try to get it out. They couldn't get it out, so I had to be, not actually flew up to Vanderbilt in Nashville because a surgeon could get this out. While in there, he noticed that I had grown new veins. My body rerouted veins to get blood back to my heart. So it completely rerouted around the SVC vein, so I had no blood going back to my heart. I ended up with double stents that were made by this surgeon specifically for me. Most stents are in your arteries, and they're very, very tiny, like 1 millimeter round, and mine are in a vein which are 10 millimeters round. I'm on a blood thinner for life. During this, I kept clotting at the IV sites. It was hard to get blood. It was hard to draw blood. It was hard to do everything. I ended up with SVC syndrome. The hematologist was wondering, they're all curious about how my body was able to compensate for a collapsed SVC vein. There's no way I should be alive. I had to go to a hematologist that then tested me for clotting disorder, and I have an immune gene disorder also. So that could be why I responded differently to the Effudux cream. Another thing that happened to me was while I was going through keeping me alive, I couldn't treat any more skin cancer and I had it all over me. So I got in my kitchen and I created a CBD form and essential oil blend of only the best cancer fighting oil blends. I have used different oil blends and I created my own oil blend. This is what I created. It is, I'm calling it the kitchen witch because that's basically what happened. I was in the kitchen and just took a little bit of knowledge and blending and researched the crud out of this. Had a lot of people try it out. It has helped everyone. So I'm gonna go over a few questions. This is my thumb now, and the only thing that would help any of this heal and stop the itching, the burning, and the throbbing, even from the biopsy, the cutting, and the healing, was this. Nothing more than this. Barely move it. I can barely move it, but I can't grasp things very well with it because, it's still just like a dead thumb. But I've lost feeling. I think one question was it crystallized or anything coming out of my skin? No, that was not happening. My husband did my arms with plastic gloves on to make sure I coated everything, but it was a thin layer, not like your favorite face cream, definitely. I was reluctant on using this cream because it is chemo and people do not consider skin cancer patients or FUDEX real cancer or real chemo. And yes, it is. And I feel like on a lot of other cases that I'm listening to and reading about, that it's been the same with them. But I went to several different dermatologists. Every one of them told me something different. Every single one except the diagnosis, which was squamous. But everyone told me that yes, you're really bad sun damage, yes, blah, blah, blah. Yes, you can do FUDEX, it's no big deal. Nobody has any pain with it. Nobody has any, you might have a little bit of reddening and that's it. Well, Exhibit A. Not the case for me. I did find out that the dermatologist that performed surgery on my thumb for the squamous wasn't even a dermatologist. I had nobody giving me pain relief unless I went to the ER. I had nothing. Nobody recognized my chest burning except ER physicians because they thought it was insane. So I just want to kind of mention that. And then when I went to my local cancer oncologist, that's a big cancer treatment center here. It's not the east, but the other one. My oncologist sent me to palliative care for pain, to ease up. And she literally thought I made the doctor's name up. I forced my way in there. She even looked at my husband and said she needs a psychiatrist. She is not burning. She must have been out in the sun too long. She said that, how long do you have? Is that little spot on your chest gonna kill you? And so I told her that she was a bitch and that I'm leaving. So I went to my oncologist the very next day and told him that this happened, and he literally couldn't believe it. So I don't know if she's even still working there, but if you go to the East Clinic, opposite of the East Clinic, here locally, you're going to get like a cattle call. It was horrible. So I just think that if you do want chemo, you should go to these cancer centers. If you don't want chemo and you know you're not going to choose it, don't go. But that's my experience, and y'all asked me to tell you, so I decided to go ahead and make this video. But the dermatologist that cut my thumb was actually a DO, was a doctor of Osti something. Anyway, he wasn't a certified dermatologist. And if you don't have a certified dermatologist, you are not getting good health care. Thanks, everybody. If you have any more questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Keep them coming. Thank you. Bye.